Hi class, my name is Sarah Mills. I am a student here in North Carolina, so I will be talking about our North Carolina regulations regarding informed consent compared to the ACA Code of Ethics. So the first thing that I notice about informed consent and its translation as well as its presentation to the clients is the wording about trust. I see a lot of language in both the ACA Code of Ethics and the North Carolina Informed Consent Regulations, and as well as the way that informed consent is presented to the clients. There's a lot of wording regarding trust and how it's essential to the therapeutic relationship. Secondly, I see that the process of counseling and its nature is described in detail, including the expectations of counseling, and I see that that's pretty standard across the board in all three of these documents that I'm looking at. We are going to be talking about what is the procedure of counseling, what will we be doing, what are our goals. We're kind of required to discuss the purpose of our services. What are we providing? Why is it helpful? What's the plan? And how counseling works, because some people getting into that don't really understand or they may not have ever been to counseling or therapy and just may not understand how it works. So I think that that is really important to talk about in the informed consent, is what this is, what we are providing, and what our relationship will look like, counselor to client or patient, if you will. And so, of course, discussing the nature of our counselor-client relationship is very important. I believe the most important point, though, as far as informed consent goes, is for the client to understand that they do have the right to choose. Again, that's something that is talked about across the board. It seems like they have the right to choose to agree to these services after knowing everything that they need to know about it, as well as choosing to continue the services if they ever feel the need to stop treatment or leave treatment or seek other counselors. They need to understand that they have the right to do that. But of course, our goal is for our clients to feel safe and comfortable with us in order to complete their need for counseling. We want them to meet some expectations that we set forth for their wellness. So, of course, as a counselor, we want to provide help to this person, and we may not want them to leave. That's not our goal. Our goals are, of course, a full-on wellness, but I think that it's very important, and as far as I can see in all of these readings, it is very important for them to understand that they can choose to be here, of course, unless they are mandated to be here. But they have the choice, and they are trusting us. Something that stands out to me when reading over the informed consent to healthcare treatment procedure for North Carolina is, of course, first obtaining consent. It's the most important thing. Being in accordance with the ethical standards of practice for our profession, in our case, counseling or mental health, and making sure the client has a general understanding of the procedures and treatments, like I discussed. We also have to discuss what kind of risks or hazards could come of this. And in the mental health profession, I don't feel like risks are extremely prominent or common, but we may be changing things in these people's lives. We may be changing the way that they handle a situation, the way that they live their life in general, the way that they talk to people, or their confidence may change, their job may change, their relationships with people or their peers may change. And I think that that's important for them to understand how counseling, as good it is for them, may change other things in their life. Obviously, it's imperative for the client to be able to make this capable decision for counseling. Additionally, I've seen that it is important for the counselor to put some information regarding our services, our education, our experience, how we communicate with our peers and other professionals regarding our clients' needs. Lastly, it seems that informed consent also talks about policies such as payments, late fees, anything specific to this counselor or this office regarding insurance, payments, cancellations, things like that. The only thing that I don't see talked about yet, which is a bit surprising because we've been dealing with social media for quite a while, it's not really talked about yet in the ACA Code of Ethics or in the Informed Consent for North Carolina procedures, and that is just social media. How do we control our social media presence with our clients if they find us on social media? And I think at this point, counselors have the right to choose, if I understand correctly, if they want to communicate with their clients on social media, but that comes with a price, I think. And I think personally that I would choose not to communicate on social media because we, of course, have the right to have our personal lives as well. But it seems, though, everything that I've read and gone over regarding informed consent, in a variety of ways, says the same thing. Make sure that our client understands what they're getting into, that they agree to it, and that they can trust us.